Hello and welcome down onto the tech desk, and in today's video we're going to be looking at this. So this is the GameSir G7 wired Xbox controller for the Xbox obviously and for PC as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to tell you everything you get in the box, and then I'll go through all the features because there's some cracking little features on this controller, and then we'll go over to the PC as well because it's got a really quite good comprehensive app that you can tweak it on your PC as well. Okay, so this is the box it comes in. Just tells you all about it. So you've got the Nexus software, that's for the PC, and we'll talk about that. Wired 3.5 microphone, detachable USB, great. And then it comes with 2 faceplates, so there's one of the features as well, and that's pretty much it. In the box, here is your controller. We'll talk about it in a second. And then, as I said, you get an extra faceplate, so these come off. We'll talk about that in a second. And then also in the box, you get yourself a little instruction manual. Fantastic. And then, because it's wired, you're going to get yourself a cable. Now, look at this cable. This is 3 meters long. Okay, so I don't think you're going to need anything longer than this. And then, look at it. The quality is superb. It's lovely and braided. Now, normally what I would do is I would just use any old cable that I've got plugged in. But this is such good quality and it's such good length. But also in here, so this is where you plug in the USB Type-C bit here. This fits it perfectly, okay? I've tried other cables and some don't fit in there, so I thought I'd get this out anyway. Treat yourself and use the official cable that it comes with. Right, so as we've briefly touched upon, one of the main features is you can take the faceplate off, okay? So it comes with 2, it comes with a black and a white. So all you do is take one off and pop that back on. You can have yourself a black controller, pop that off, and a white controller. And they also sent me one of these, which is kind of like a white with black flecks on, which I'll keep on for the remainder of the video. So you can go there if you want to, go and get yourself some things. Or if you're a modder, you can go out and spray paint this to however you want to, get it to make it look as unique as you need it to. So if we go over the controller itself, there's some really nice things on this that I want to highlight. Okay, so when you first get it out and you hold it in your hand, but there's no battery in it, obviously, it's a really nice balance to it. Just feels, because there's no battery, it's a lot lighter in the hand. So it's the asymmetrical design. We have all the usual Xbox buttons, the D-pad, thumbsticks, X, Y, A and B, and we have an M button down there. We'll talk about that in a second. And then we have a 3.5mm for your headphones, and then we have the microphone mute button. And then on the back, can't be without these are the M1 and M2 paddles. I rely on these so much with all my controllers, and they are in a fantastic position to be able to just put your fingers on there. So spinning back on here, I want to talk to you about these buttons on here. So the X, Y, A and B. Now, if you like a button where you press and you can really feel it press, it looks like a dink, dink, dink instead of a mush to it, then this is the one for you, because this press is like really kind of snappy. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly cut the music, and then I'll put it towards the mic, so hopefully you can hear this, okay? It's really snappy, okay? So these buttons here, all these buttons, they're okay. They're regular buttons, but these are excellent. And the thumbsticks, they feel great. There's no dead zones. I've not had any sort of drift or any dead zones on it, but we'll talk about this in the app because you can change that anyway. And the click is really kind of standard. I would expect this on every official Xbox joystick. The clicks they feel fine. Now the D-pad as well. Okay, if you like yourself a clicky D-pad, this is for you, okay? Very clicky. So if I press this in, see how far this other side doesn't go down, okay? Do you hear that? And what I'll do now is I'll put it near the mic again, and you can hear the D-pad. Very clicky, hardly moves. So if you like yourself a clicky D-pad, this is the one for you. D-pads are a personal preference. I absolutely get that. And then flicking over, the M1 and M2, they feel okay. They just feel like regular buttons, feel really nice. And I also want to highlight here as well. So this bit here is all textured around here, and it doesn't feel plastic. It feels like rubber. So it feels like an extra piece of rubber that's put on there. So it really helps with the grip. And then finally, the triggers. Now I've been using these triggers a lot, and so these are analog triggers, and they have a nice dampening to them, okay? So pretty much as soon as you press it, you're activating it. But again, change that in the software, which we'll talk about later. When you press it down, it's a nice dampening to it, so no nice tension to it when you're pressing it down. And they have a nice bit of grippy texture on the ends there for when you're pressing it. Now these triggers here, so LB and RB, these are lovely, and I get exactly the same vibes off a Nintendo Switch Pro controller. If you've used a Nintendo Switch Pro controller, they almost feel identical, but I'd say a little bit more clicky. And then what we're going to do in here, so when if you have your headphones, you can put on there. If you have a compatible mic, you can just mute your mic from there as well. Another really cool feature, I'll get a close-up of here, is this M button so you can do your paddles. These paddles can be any button you like, including D-pad. It could be any face button, L3 and R3. The only thing it can't be is the M button itself, which is understandable. And if you press the M button again, and then the D-pad left and right, that's your chat mix, okay? So you pull that and you get more of the game or more of your mates. And then if you hold that down, you've got volume up and volume down as well. Really nice feature, and it's indicated on the D-pad there, but I'll show you that on a close-up. So playing with it has been an absolute dream. If you don't mind it being wired, which I don't particularly, plug it into the Xbox or into your PC, a lovely controller to use. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to whip over to the PC, and we're just going to run you through the app very briefly on the PC. So here we are down on the PC, and all you're going to do is going to go to the Microsoft Store and download the Nexus app and fire it up, and this is what you'll get. GameSir not detected, please check. Fine. I've got my controller here, I've got my cable here. All I'm going to do is plug in the controller, like so. So I've got that plugged in. The light will come onto the controller, and then that'll fire up. So pretty much straight away. Now, you can use the controller to do the on-screen menus or the mouse if you want to, but what we'll do is I'll just be using the controller. So there we go. So first of all, you're going to hit updates, and you're going to check for the firmware. Mine's already at the latest. And then the first thing to do is go into profiles and go into one of your profiles. You can tap to add a description if you want to. Let's call it CTA. Lovely. And then configure. And then once you go into configure, it's up the top there. You have your 4 sections, which you can use your bumper to run between. And let's talk about these first. So this is the mapping. This is where we can change everything about the controller, all the different buttons. You can swap them all about if you want to. Let's look at these sticks. There are sticks here, and we have this in real time. So if I do the left sticks, there we go. And you can adjust the left sticks zone for the initial and max if you want to up there. And then again with the right stick, you can change it to the initial there. Okay, and the max there for you for up to 100. Okay. And then you can swap them if you want to, or D-pad diagonal lock, entirely up to you. And then if we flick over to triggers, again in real time, the left trigger. So look, as soon as I touch it, it starts registering. As before. And then we can change the initial and max on there, initial and max on there, and then we can have the hair triggers if you want to. So make it pretty much make it analog, if that's what you fancy, digital, if you fancy. And then if we go over to vibration, this is where you can change the vibration. So if I'm holding down my right trigger, it is vibrating at the moment. You can have that on and off if you want to, and change the right trigger vibration level and the right grip vibration level as well. Then once you do that, you just save it, and it'll be in one of the profiles. Okay, so that's a really brief rundown of the app, and you can see the amount of customization that you can get for your mapping, sticks, your triggers, and your vibration. Loads to do on that. So there we have it then, a really good wired controller for the Xbox and PC. We've got really many complaints. The only complaint really was the size of the USB stick in there. You have to kind of use the official one, but apart from that, I've had a good few weeks of playing with this and really enjoying it. And it's not too expensive either. And if you go on Amazon quickly now, I think it was a discount. I looked this morning and there was a discount off. So go and have a look. You might get a bit of money off here. I'll leave links down below where you can go and have a look. You can go and buy it. Okay, that was everything then. If you've got any questions, do let me know. Do like, do subscribe. Until the next video. Bye-bye.